Happy Thursday. Am I on? Okay. Yeah, I think. Okay. Hi, Miss Jane. How are you? Hi, everyone. Eka Shalafia ni Wuniwa. Hello, finest Shandy. How are you? See, I wrote to two. And again, let's send it to Asadoa. Because y'all. Hello, Miss Sabina. I haven't forgotten. Trust me. It's court most of today, but yeah. Well, finest Shandy, I don't know if you saw that post, but live is now 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So basically 9:30 p.m. your time. So that's what we've started. Yeah, I don't care. Repost here, but it's now hello BJ Pumping. It's going to be 8:30 Central Time. So we had to switch things around a little bit earlier. Some people can join now and all that. So it just works all around. Yeah. So yeah, that's why I'm on right now. Hi everyone. Come on in. Say hello. When you come in, let's talk immigration. What's your week been like? This week went by pretty fast. It was like Monday yesterday, and now here we are. But anyway, we thank God for keeping us all. But y'all who brought the cold down south, y'all need to go back to Canada or New York or Maryland, wherever it is. Hire to me. We don't want it. We don't want it. Please take. 𝐸𝐭𝐥𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐵𝐺𝐻. No, just take it and go. I love dancing. I don't like to work out. Like I've never had a gym membership. Never. And I don't think that's ever gonna happen. Because my brain works out enough. So, and y'all would not believe how much I eat. Well, everything goes to my butt. That's why. Everything goes to my butt. I'm not kidding. Like people who have met me in person, they'll go, "Oh wow, nobody knew you had that. Your butt was that big." Mm-hmm. We have to thank the Ogunde sisters, my mom and her sisters. I told you Auntie Bingpe. Y'all ever heard me talk about Auntie Bingpe? Auntie Yen. Mm-hmm. She's probably good. My mom is very good to tell me. And obviously, that's to burial. But seriously, Auntie Bingpe, you know when they say that you've got back where you can literally put a kid and you don't need dancing brings joy. You don't need to have, a wrap or whatever around it. That kid will balance easy. That's my Auntie B. So thank God for the Ogunse sisters that gave us but that we don't have to pay for. But anyway, hi everyone. This is Attorney Abisola Adebola Olaleye, immigration attorney based in Alabama, representing immigration clients in all 50 states. Got an immigration case. If it's a case that we handle, we can and do represent immigration clients regardless of the state you live in. It doesn't matter. Immigration is federal practice. So if you have a lawyer that's in another thank you, Abino. If you have a lawyer that's in a state different from where you live, there's no problem with that lawyer representing you in your immigration case. All right, come on, people, share, like, follow. We would really subscribe. Very much appreciate that. All platforms is at Olaleye Immigration. So the contact number is 334-341-4475. We will be glad and honored to represent you in your immigration case. Once again, let me just reiterate, and I think I said it last time. You all have to remember that this is an election year. That means that there is potentially going to be immigration policies that will change. If you know that you've been holding on and putting in pause, whatever your case is, employment-based, family-based, humanitarian, go ahead and submit and file your applications now that you know what the policy is, because obviously there's at the very least a 50% chance that the next president may be a Republican. At the very least, a 50% chance, half and half. And we already know what Republicans, what their stance is when it comes to immigration. So if you've got something that you qualify for, this is not the time to like yeah, we'll push my law. No, the last president banned a lot of people from coming to the country because of national security, whatever. You just never know. So, hello, Bessin Fowler to your loan. Let's get that in. Let's talk immigration. Hey, Miss Avena, how are you? Miss Eleanor, my girl's got it. Miss Avena is on YouTube. See? Multitasking. Hello, Miss Giwa. Miss Eleanor Sanctuary is on Instagram. So I'm thinking, y'all let me know what, and this is going to be, so Miss Avena or Miss Eleanor, y'all have to work it out, or find a Shandy. One of you ladies, I'm looking to have you as a moderator, not for free, obviously. So I'm looking to do like a seminar, or like a not necessarily seminar, but like a Zoom event. Let me put it that way, where we can come together. It's not going to be free, but you've got a certain amount of questions that it's like a mass consultation, for lack of a better descriptive phrase. So there'll be a fee, and we'll have this huge class where everybody gets to ask me 5 questions, and and get those answers in detail. Webinar, I think that's what I was looking for. Yes. So, but more of a consultation, really, because it's not the teaching, but yeah. So y'all let me know what you think. I think we'll throw it out there. That's one of the things I want to do this year. And obviously we were less than the normal consultation fee, but it would be you would have a choice if you want a video on or not, just voice, that's fine. But at least you would get your questions answered specifically. I think that will be Miss Evans is okay. Then I guess that's it. But anyway, let's talk immigration. So tonight we are, like I said, on Tuesday. We didn't get to all the questions on Tuesday, so we're going to do our very first Q&A session of 2024. So go ahead and put your questions in the comment section. Everybody asks, lawyer, you didn't answer my. No. It ain't going to happen. Please put your questions right now so that we can try to get to all the questions if possible. And I'll try not to skip or jump. But if you put the same question like 200 times, I will not read it, just so you know. It doesn't mean, putting it 200 times doesn't mean I didn't see the first time. We're just talking for now. So let's get some order in and get to as many questions as possible. And Miss Pam's green card was mailed on Tuesday and it was delivered yesterday. When God decides to accelerate your blessing, no one's going to argue with you on that one, right? We thank God. So as many are still waiting on God and looking forward to favor and mercy and breakthroughs this year, I pray that all of us will have our heart's desires answered, our prayers answered, and God willing. Okie dokie. All right, let's go. Let's start on Facebook. If you're just joining us for the first time, welcome. We do this every Tuesday and Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Any other time zone, and I'll figure out what that is because I don't know. But anyway, so what we do is, sometimes I have topics and we do questions at the end, but some days like today, we have questions only, no topic discussed, so we can get to as many questions as possible. Disclaimer, all questions or answers to questions are general information, nothing specific to anybody's case. If you need something that's specific to your case, then that's a paid consultation. We've got a promotion going on this January for the 30 minutes option. Usually it's $140 for 30 minutes. For the month of January, we have the New Year special going on for $110. So that's a steal. Let's call it. I got colleagues who charge $200 for 30 minutes. So, But anyway, so that's how we can get something specific to your case. The mass consultation / the webinar I'm talking about, it will be specific to your case, but you would have a limited number of questions to ask so everybody can get a chance. I think that would be a great idea. I think what we'll do is probably get a poll first to see how many. If it's going to be, if we get to at least 25 people, then that's worth it. If it's not more than, if it's not up to that it shows interest, then we'll just see. So we'll put it out there. But anyway, once again, our contact is 334-341-4475. Website @llawfirm.com. Okay. Do you have, MK says, do you have, put this question on since it's abbreviations. Have you had any VA cases where USCIS verified witness letters, either by calling or visiting? I think I've only had one happen in almost 10 years of immigration practice. I think I've had only one happen and that was because my best guess is actually that case was approved, but they had filed twice before, if my memory serves me correctly, and there were issues with whether or not the marriage was bona fide. So that's the only thing I can think. That's the only case I can think of. But generally, they do not. They go by what you. For the most part, for instance, we usually ask. It's not mandatory, but it's preferable. Ask our clients to let their witnesses know that we need copies of their IDs. So usually that suffices, unless there has been a prior case or some kind of investigation that USCIS now needs to probe into that case more. Okay. Happy Thursday, Miss Giwa. How are you? Hello, Olainka. That will be very resourceful. I think so. Okay. Cannot file if my spouse hasn't filed taxes in the last 3 years as required. Can you file what? Can you file taxes? Can you file your immigration papers? Can you file what? Lola, can you file what? Can you file what exactly? Do you know if USCIS has started working on VAL filed in 2022? I don't know that, Miss Jane, but processing time. So any question regarding how long something is going to take, I'm not going to answer that because you can easily find that information on the USCIS.gov/processing time website. It's the same place we all go to as attorneys. It gives you an average of the length of time it's taking for them to process a specific or particular kind of application. Generally, VA cases are processed. Right now, it's at 38 months. 36, 37 or 38 months, basically about 3 years. So give or take, that's how long it's taken. Yes, disclaimer, general information, nothing specific to anyone's case. Let's see. Please send me the information. Oh, Joel. Oh, let me write. I thought I did. I did not? Mr. Joel, why did, okay, I can almost swear that I did. I'm sorry if I completely forgot about that. I blame it on the holiday season, but Mr. Joel, I did not. Can you confirm? Are you sure? Okay. Cannot file marriage. Okay. If your spouse hasn't filed tax in the last 3 years, why hasn't your, I never did. I'm sorry about that. Can you send me an email? Send me an email direct, not to my assistant, to my email address. So that will be a reminder for me to get it to you. I'll try to get you no later than tomorrow. So my apologies on that. What's the reason why your spouse has not filed for taxes? All right, that's fine. Send me an email and that will be a reminder and I'll send it to you. Lola, what's the reason why your spouse hasn't filed? Do they not make as much income that requires them to file taxes? Or are they just not filing, or they're on disability? What is the reason? I'm assuming you guys have spoken and talked about that. So what's the reason your spouse gave? My 751 based on cruelty is pending, but I'm eligible for N400 in 2 months. When I file N400, should I submit some evidence as 751 case? What do you mean, should you submit some evidence? Oh, same evidence. If you file the based on 3 years as a legal permanent resident, and whether or not you're married to your spouse, you still qualify. If you're granted the 751 based on abuse, you still qualify to file naturalization based on 3 years. The same evidence that you're talking about, I'm assuming the good faith evidence. And so the thing is, you're not required to show marital union when you're filing your N400, even though it's based on 3 years as a legal permanent resident. But the caveat there is you're filing it based on the fact that you've been subjected to abuse. So you don't have to show marital union proof. I hope that answers that question. But your 751 obviously has to have proof of good faith marriage. He didn't have a job. Okay, so if he didn't have a job, then that you excuse me. If you didn't have a job, then one of the things you need to do is to include an explanation why this petitioning spouse did not file taxes. So that would be, okay, I wasn't employed, so there's no reason to file taxes. And in that case, that should be a reasonable explanation. And you guys would probably need, would need a joint sponsor in addition to, but he still has to file an I-864, whether or not he was employed. That's just a requirement. And then with that explanation, explaining why. Okay, so yeah. You're welcome, Mr. Kevin. Okay, let's go on TikTok. Then we'll make it around, see if I can make another round. So I try to get to all the questions if possible. So tonight is about a question. Okay. Thank you, JD Limitless. Filtered. Okay. To bring spouse from Nigeria, how long does it take? So generally, the first step, which is the I-130 phase, the USCIS phase, can take anywhere from 7 months to about 15 months for approval. Once that's done, they forward the file to the National Visa Center. Actually, the delay and backlog is at the embassy because there's just that many visa applications pending, and that there aren't enough visa numbers available. So at the embassy, it can go from anywhere from 10 months to 2 years of waiting. Some people have that option or look into that option of transferring their files to another embassy in another country, as long as you follow the protocol. But that just gives you an idea of what to expect. I'm a high school student and I want to become an attorney. Any advice? That's good. Do you love talking? Because you gotta. But if that's what your heart desires and you put it before God, then go for it. It is quite a lengthy process getting there, but you can do it. That's basically it. Just don't give up and keep going. And no matter what, it's not going to be an easy road. That's just the reality. But as long as you set your eyes and your mind on the final goal, you'll be fine. Someone says, I can't wait for Trump to get back into office. Okay, next question. Will a traditional marriage between families back in Africa be considered valid by USCIS? Generally, yes. What law do you practice? I primarily practice immigration law. I also do criminal cases, and yes, I represent the criminal defense. And I do I represent the state of Alabama in dependency cases, which is like taking kids from their home and all that good stuff. But 90% of my practice is immigration. The rest of the 10% is criminal defense and family law. Okay. Filed AOS on K1, and now it's showing cases ready to schedule interview. What's next? That's what's next. Schedule in those schedule for an interview. Let's see. It's for like a first time here. Thank you. Come on in. Welcome to our group each Tuesday and Thursday night. Glad you could join in. Filed for asylum in 2018. Went for interview, but I only received SSN and work permit. What's next? You're waiting for them to make a decision on your interview. And I'm surprised it's been taking, 6 years since your interview? They haven't made a decision yet? Are you sure? Are you sure they haven't denied it and then put you in removal proceedings? I don't know of any asylum case that would take 6 years for them to make a decision on. Is it okay to travel with AP, gotten through AOS, with marriage to U.S. citizen with a pending asylum? Generally, yes. Not specific to your case. Generally, yes. As long as your AP is valid and you're not going back to the country you're seeking protection from. First time here, I've been welcome in. Okay, I already answered that question. If you are on a J1 visa with a 2-year subjection rule, what's the work around that? Filing a request, a waiver of the 2-year rule, depending on which one you qualify for. Did USCIS raise application fee for adjustment of status? Not yet. They intend to, but it has not been raised yet. Can I apply for adversity green card on F1 visa? What's adversity green card? Okay. Let's see. What can I do if my I-485 is pending after 2 years? Contact them. I've even scheduled for an interview. If not, is it still within the normal person time? If it is, that's probably what they would tell you. Or even if you go through your senator or congressman or woman, they would say it's within normal person time. If it's outside normal person time, contact them. Get your senator involved so you can do an ombudsman inquiry, or you could do an ombudsman inquiry as well for that supervisory office of USCIS to help you look into what's going on. So those are options that you can explore. What's next after VAL approval and file moved to NBC? They will decide whether or not you are going to be scheduled for an interview. If you will be scheduled for an interview, then they'll forward your file to the field office that's got jurisdiction over your case. If not, and you didn't send in your medicals, you'll get an RFE for that. If your medicals are still good, then you're just basically waiting, and everything else, there's no issue with anything else. Then you're basically just waiting for them to make a decision on your green card application. Okay. My I-751 is taking so long. I submitted my petition in November of 2021. So that's basically just a little over 2 years. It's within normal processing time. One of the things you can do, especially if you have a pending I-751, if you are at the point where you're not qualified and you are eligible for naturalization, then you can file that. Usually that helps to push your case because they will schedule your citizenship interview soon. And unless you're in the military, they're required to make a decision on your I-751 and give you and remove the conditions before allowing you to naturalize. So that's something you could look into doing. What I usually do is, and this is, if you have an attorney, just make sure you let your attorney know you're filing citizenship. Because I had a client who decided to file their citizenship on their own. The goal was to be able to get their, so if they had a joint petition, we converted to an abuse-based case. And based on that, he was eligible to apply for naturalization. And so he said, like, okay, am I eligible? Like, yeah, sure you are. But as long as they grant you 751 based on abuse, you got to make sure that happens. He went ahead and filed citizenship on his own, did not let me know. Long story short, they did not grant his case based on abuse because he did not go there to explain himself the way it should have been. He was trying to save a buck, and he had to withdraw his N-400, and now he's got to wait and refile. So I say all that to say this. Don't be penny wise, pound foolish. If you've got it, especially if you have a cruelty-based 751, if you're also looking to get citizenship, obviously nothing's guaranteed, but increase your chances by having an attorney go with you so that it's very, very clear on what basis you're asking for and why you qualify for the citizenship at the same time. Let's see. My VA has been pending for 40 months. Oh, wow, now. But the case status says I can't make an inquiry till May. They, I call BS and that thing. Let's call it spade a spade. They will put, you're putting your priority date, and then they tell you the earliest date you can do, yada, yada, yada. But once it gets to that 36, 38 months, I usually just start to email them like, hey, people, what's going on? But it's their excuse, is their catch-all excuse for, we're wasting your time, but we've covered ourselves because you can't make an inquiry now. But I would still say if you have a lawyer, you can ask your lawyer to send an email. It doesn't hurt to send an email and find out what's going on. My husband had to move to another state for a better job while I stay back in our current state. So what's your question? Okay, will this affect our 2 years renewal? When you say 2 years renewal, are you talking about when you file your 751? As long as you're able to show that he moved to another state. When you say moved, it's one thing to actually relocate. It's another thing to be working there and then come home every other weekend or every weekend. As long as you show that he's coming back home, or you're going over to that state whenever he can come home, that shows still cohabitation. But if there's no traveling back to see each other, then that's questionable, obviously. And y'all have to understand something. It doesn't matter if you put give USCIS a lease agreement till Jesus comes back. They have access to DMV records. So if you've got a spouse who is really moving to another state and then working in another state, and then they get a driver's license in that state they're in, USCIS has access to that. Then you're going to have to explain, if the person is only in that state for work, why they having to change the license. Now, there's some states that require you to, if you're living there for a while, but if you're working and going back, then there's no such requirement. So that's something you guys because I've seen so many noids and RFEs about that, and people are like, so what they find out? Yes. Anything that U.S. government says is in national interest or national security, they can't. So just so you know. Okay. Let's see. Okay. All right. So let's do. Hola to you as well. Oh my God, I love your hair. Thank you. Can I send an email to them also concerning my asylum pending? I didn't use an attorney though. All asylum offices actually have an email address, so I mean it doesn't hurt to do that. To send them an email, you can call the contact center, USCIS contact center, or email the asylum office that has jurisdiction over your case. How long does DHS in New York take to respond to your joint motion request, the PD request? Forever? There's some offices, there are OPLA offices, that's DHS attorney. that will actually New York, what, because New York has several offices. I forget this particular city or district, I should say, but that's been the fastest. I think I sent a PD request on a Monday and I got a response on a Wednesday, something crazy like that. But they take forever. I've got quite a number of them, and sometimes I'll have to resend it. Let's see. Can a person if a person comes to the U.S. as a visitor, can they apply for work permit? Visitor visas don't make you eligible for work permit. My spouse's ESTA got denied, and it was asked to apply for B1, B2. Do you look into this? No, I do not. It's for like I only renew my work permit every 2 years. What should I do? What is your regional question? Let's see if I can get your original question. It's for like. Can you repeat your question? Because I don't see what came before that. I only renewing for 2 years. What are you asking, or what is your question? I only renew my work permit every 2 years. What should I do? What are you asking? What do you have pending? What is your work permit based on? Oh, the asylum. Okay, you're the one who asked about the asylum. Okay. Are you you want to inquire as to why you have not been scheduled for an interview? Is that what you're trying to find out? Okay, so that's basically what you want to find out. You're not the only one, I have to say. I've got quite a number of cases. I have a case we filed since 2017, and we've done expedite requests twice, and both times it's been denied. Oh, you've gone for an interview. Okay. Oh, so you're the one that went for an interview. So are you have not received a decision since 2018, or were you referred to immigration court? My marriage petition has been sent to National Benefit Center. How long before I get a green card? That's another question I can answer. Oh, so there's no decision yet? I am in OPT. How do I get a longer work visa, 5-year visa, for example? The work visa is not a work permit. You've got to be eligible for something that makes you've got to qualify for something that makes you eligible for a 5-year work permit or makes you eligible for a work visa. So if you're an OPT, are you looking into having an employer file in an H-1B petition for you when the lottery system starts in March? Are you looking to file a national interest waiver? There's, you just don't get a 5-year work permit just because you want to apply for it. You've got to have a basis for that. How long after you get married can you apply for your green card? There's no set time after you get married. What really is the red flag is if you get married and file your papers within like 90 days when you come into the country, that rule is technically not in effect anymore, but it's still a discretionary basis for USCIS to suspect that you misrepresented your intention when you came in. Okay, so it's for like so basically you're waiting. Do you have another status? At the time that you filed, at the time you had your asylum interview, did you have another status, like a non-immigrant status that you were still that was still valid at that time? Can I? Okay, you don't. Contact them and see why they haven't made a decision. That's all I can offer you. I just don't know of any asylum case that's been pending 6 years after the interview without a decision. Another thing you want to do is if you want to go online, go to the EOIR case status, put in your alien number, and make sure it's not showing up in immigration court, because you may not have received the what's it called, referral notice or whatever the case. I just don't. I've never heard of a case waiting 6 years for a decision. So you want to do that and rule that out that you have not been referred. That's one way you can find out whether or not you're in court. If your number doesn't show up, that's your alien number. If it doesn't show up on the EOR website, then you now can go ahead and email them. How long after you enter the country on a B1, B2 can you get married? You said something about 90 days. Usually, if you get married within the 90-day period, or if you file your immigration papers within 90-day period on a visitor visa, that's usually seen as misrepresentation of your intention when you came in. And that may subject you to inadmissibility issues that were required to have a waiver, to file a waiver. Okay. All righty. Mr. Joe, okay, send you that. Thank you. My vow was denied based on abandonment request for additional evidence. My vow was denied based on abandonment. Request for additional evidence was sent. I did not receive it. Y'all, don't bring up my English grammar because there's no punctuation in your question at all. Okay, so I'm having to put that in. Okay. I did not receive it. I wrote several letters to USCIS. They refused to respond to my letter. What to do? Get yourself an attorney. That's what you need to do at this point. I have a VAWA case going on, and I have my nursing license, but can't work because I don't have a work authorization yet. So a friend suggested for me to write a letter to Vermont to expedite my case so I can start working. Please, do you think it's safe to do that? How do I comment in this live so she can see my question? I just read it. So the question I have, and I don't want to see your name because you have a VAWA case. When did you file the VAWA case? Question number one. So put that response there. Let's get to the bottom of why. When did you file the VAWA case? September of last year. Okay. Did you file? That's just 4 months ago. Did you file work permit, work authorization application with it? Let's see. And your Instagram people, Joe. Did you file? Okay. And you filed the green card application as well? Let's see. Hello, everyone. Did you file a green card application as well? I-485, I-765, all that good stuff. And advanced parole. Okay. I'm assuming you don't have a lawyer in your case, correct? Doesn't seem like it. Okay. What category work permit did you choose in your application? What is the category you selected? Our numero uno. Okay, let's see. Can I travel outside the U.S. with? No, I-765, that is the form. If you go on, did you keep a copy of what you sent in? So if you did, go on your I-751 application, or better still, you have your receipt notices, right? You should have your receipt notices. All right. Your I-765 receipt notice, can you look on that? It will be on the top right corner of that notice. What it would have your category that of the work permit category you filed. What it would say, see something. Tell me what it says. Okay. Nice idea with the webinar. Okay, we'll We'll put that. I think I'll get my girl Kyla, who does our post, to do something where everyone can indicate if they're interested, and if they're interested, we'll do that. All right, go look for it. Question time. Let's have it rolling. Push you on the yell. Okay, I have a friend that was returned back from the airport to Lagos because they said he worked the last time he visited and was barred for 5 years, and now 5 years. Okay, so what's the question? Can I have some conversations with you tomorrow morning? If you pay the consultation fee, we have consultation of 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and 1 hour. But I can tell you that I'm completely booked tomorrow. That much I can tell you. Yeah. Okay. But you can call my office, 334-341-4475, or go on @llawfirm.com and schedule the consultation yourself. I don't offer free consultation, so I don't do free calls. What's your take on a nonprofit healthcare employer wishing to sponsor H-1B or green card, but only willing to start by the last year of individuals STEM OPT? What do you mean? What's my take? If you should be, if you're going to be last year of your OPT, of course, that's pushing you really, really close to when you need to be to maintain status. So yeah. Can I travel outside the U.S. with a travel document through VAWA? Generally, as long as you have no other issues outside of unlawful presence, and your advance parole is valid, it hasn't expired, generally you can. I'm not telling you can't travel. That's just general information. Okay. Oh, 37 months. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's it. Email address is info@olalayalawfirm.com. info@olalayalawfirm.com. If you send us an email looking to get answers to questions, Lydia will respond to you and tell you to schedule a consultation. That's what's going to happen. So just an FYI. Someone called my office today and said, mommy, sissy lawyer, already one yada yada yada. She told me to call that I will be able to get a free consultation. I was like, okay, ask them to tell you my mother's name. I told my receptionist, ask them for my mom's name. And then they hung up. Yeah. Don't be using my mama. Leave my mama out of it. What if you receive info about to register for permanent resident but have not yet? Okay. What if you receive info about to register for permanent residency but have not yet done medical? Would you know why it's going in that way? What info did you receive? I'm married to a U.S. citizen and I have a year conditional green card. And the interview for the removal condition is coming up, but my wife is refusing to go to the interview. Can I go by myself? If you file jointly and your wife is not going to go, then you must be eligible for one of the self-petition waiver grounds: divorce, death, obviously she's not dead, abuse, or extreme hardship. If you go by yourself and use a joint petition, your case will be denied. Unless you seek to convert to one of the self-petition grounds, and you may want to do that. And the best, y'all, let me say something. I know that a lot of people try. There are many people that have done these cases on their own and were successful, no issues, didn't need an attorney. Awesome, great. But why would you take risk? Because when your case is denied, even then, I need lawyer, and then yours gets denied. Guess what? That's 100% loss for you. That person who told you don't get an attorney, it doesn't affect your life in any way. So do yourself a favor and just make sure you talk to somebody who is trained to do this. I mean, it doesn't hurt. Rather than risk getting it denied, and then you got to pay even much more than you would have done the first time. That's just my 2 cents. That's all. My friend's green card got expired outside the country. Now he's stuck outside the country. What can he do? Please, he needs to talk to the lawyer. Let's see. We can't wait for you to exit this live now. Okay, who's causing trouble? Because that's immediate block. We zero negativity in this space. Did I miss something? Because that ain't gonna happen. What? I must have missed something. Can somebody tell me if let me know whoever the username is, and that's going to be an immediate block. Zero. It's got zero tolerance for negativity. Absolutely nothing. Zero. It's not going to happen. So I must have missed something. I'd like to book a consultation for a family member in Nigeria looking to migrate. Can you give counsel on legal routes they can take? Yeah, we can do that. If you go on our website, olalayalawfirm.com, or that's the easiest way, really. It's just when you go on there, it's very self-explanatory, and you'll be able to do that. Okay, I must have missed something. Can you, one of y'all ladies, let me know what username I'm looking for? Okay, so you said TRM. Let's see. Y'all, hold on one second. This is a space where we come together. Let's see. TRM. I will fish you out and block you completely. We're not going to have it. We deal with a lot already as immigrants. The last thing we need is to have somebody. Try to block her, what's going on? Because I cannot see. Y'all can tell that I have zero tolerance for her. Okay. Did the person remove themselves? I hope they did. They probably did. I think they left. Or because I can find it. Yeah, I can't find it. Well, yeah. Kind of understand. Where life is there are some people who are just miserable in their lives. They just are miserable. So, and as you know, the saying, misery loves company. If someone is unhappy and just miserable and just sad all the time, and God bless them, hopefully they can get some help, but they look for company in the sense of they're trying to project their misery on somebody else, and they're going to have to do it somewhere else. It's not going to be here. Okay, so, but I can't see it. If anyone has it, just tag them so we know who it is. So get them out of here. All righty, so let's go. Okay. Okay, let's see. All right. And the kind of crazies that we got. So anyway, let me not say that because it will be. Hello, Mr. Maggie. How are you? I'll go back there. I'm telling you, Mr. Kelvin. Okay. Always work with your attorney. You get why. Thank you. Promo is going on for January for 30 minutes consultation. Take advantage. Yes, it is. Okay, let's see. What can be a good example for expedite VA 30 months waiting? Generally, usually urgent medical reasons, emergent changes in personal circumstances, humanitarian grounds. Everyone's case, in fact, pattern is different. So it just depends on what's going on in your life. Hello, Miss Mary. Okay, let's see. Can you file for appeal if denied? Appeal of what? Appeal of what? Oh, it happened on Facebook. Oh, I don't see it still. I guess they blocked themselves. Yeah, maybe they did. Okay. Appeal of what was denied. It just depends on what was appealed. If you already have an approved I-130 and you're already separated from your spouse and filed for vow, did did you still have to wait for the? Do you still have to wait for the 37 months wait time? Um, USCIS is required to bear. Okay. So, but you can always ask them to expedite or to apply your priority date. I've had cases where, well, we didn't expedite anything, but based on the priority date being transferred, the with client's case, one was as little as I think 12 months, another one was about 18 months, no expedited request. Actually, the one from last year, no expedited request, was we filed in March. He got his VAR approved in August, 5 months. So it just depends. I have an approved VAR application and a pending adjustment of status. Submitted my medicals when I was applying for VAR in 2021, and my VAR was approved in April 2023, but no new request for medical. They may send that to you with an RFE. Punctuate people, health. It's helpful because it's like one long sentence. So, where do we post questions? Right here. If after your I-485 interview, the officer doesn't make a decision and says she'll get back to you, is that normal? If so, how long do they usually take to get back to you? Please, every field office is different. What does it mean when USCIS request for initial evidence? That means that's something that you should have submitted with your application as a required evidence was missing. So they'll let you, once you get the RFE, it will tell you what it was. I previously asked, but not sure if to repost it, as I know we're not permitted to ask questions twice. Uh, no, it's not like you. It's just it takes up a lot of space, but sometimes something may said. Mr. Magic says, "Don't ask questions too much, if and then we'll let you know, Shama." Okay. Can an F2 file for asylum? Generally, yes. Okay. Let's see. I'm crying, not grandma. I'm telling you, they called my office today and say that my mom sent them, and my receptionist transferred. It's like my mom, and knowing my mom was like, my mom would have texted me and like, hey, show my mommy, because she even knows, because my mom is, she knows that I have some injectable blood. But like, tell them to tell you my mom's name, and then they hung up. Yeah. So my mom was like, hey. It was funny. My receptionist was pastor like, really? Well, yeah. And I called my mom. She, you know how you already know Nigeria about it. She was like, I'm walking in college. I'm like, okay, no, little, yeah, just letting you know. It was that little guy that you read his comment. I can't even remember. Oh, listen, y'all. Hmm. I mean, they may have deleted it themselves. I don't know. Your friends are back from holes. Okay. Can a citizen sponsor his second spouse if he was once married and he previously filed for his first spouse? There's nothing that says you cannot. Also, which one is better and faster, H-1B to green card, marriage-based, or employment-based green card? Faster. H-1B to green card, marriage-based, or employment-based green card. It depends. If you're getting married to a citizen, there's no waiting for any visa number. If you're going through employment-based route, you have to wait for your priority date to become current. So they're completely different categories. What's the earliest to have an employee start the employee-based H-1B or green card to ensure individual maintain status while on STEM OPT? H-1B, or if your employer is an H-1B subject to employer, they can only file in submit registration in March. If it's selected, then they file. That happens just once a year. As far as whether they're filing for you, then it's taking upwards of 2 years at the very least. The earlier they start, the better. 5-year bar is over. Can you apply now, or what's your advice? If the bar is already over, then he can go ahead and reapply. Talk about advanced parole. What about advanced parole? Tyre Bless, can you appeal if your application is denied? What application? I've asked that question. What application? Can one file for appeal after 6 years of being denied and is valid visible? Appeal has statute of limitation if you're obviously going to be out of the time frame to have filed. Yeah. Okay. Can a green card holder file for child that is under 18 that came in with B1 visa and overstayed her visa? Under 18, yes. Whether they were over 18 doesn't matter. But as long as the child remains under 18 and is approved and they leave the country before they turn 18, they don't accrue any unlawful presence, but they would have to apply for immigrant visa at the embassy. Having overstayed, they're not eligible to apply for the green card. Once the child turns 18, they start to accrue unlawful presence. And if they're here 6 months after the 18th birthday, that would trigger the 3-year bar already. A year after triggers the 10-year bar. So it's different compared to someone who is a citizen. The file was filed in June 2023. I-130 was denied in November 2023. I hope this doesn't affect my VAWA case. Generally, no. Prima facie determination notice is about to expire. Will the USCIS issue a new one even if you already have a work permit? Prima facie determination and work permit don't have anything to do with each other. They will issue you an extension. You made an application to file for green card. You're able to appeal your I-130 petition as long as it's still within the time frame given for appeal. You cannot appeal a denial of an I-45. You can file a motion to reopen or reconsider. There's no appeal of a green card application denial. I-130 you can appeal within the time frame that's given. If you're out of that time frame already, then you may just want to refile. Okay. All right. So let me see. So I want to see. Okay, I did everything. Yes, I don't have. You have the copy. Yes, I have the copy. Yes, I have everything. Okay, please let me check. All right, did you get it? I don't see you back. CI, I don't see you back. But if you can go back and watch this. Words cannot express my gratitude and that of others for you to create time and help on this platform to answer so many questions on immigration. God bless you and continue to strengthen you always. Thank you. Appreciate that. If you receive notice that your permanent residence is in review, however, you have not yet done medical, is that normal procedure? Yes. A filed I-36045. Can I get a work permit and travel permit? I have a 2-year-old with my American citizen abusive husband. Do I have to file travel and work permit? You don't have to, but if you want to work and travel while your case is pending, then you will have to. Immigration judge ordered removal case appeal. Ordered removal case appeal in February. Okay, so what's your question? Maybe I should run to Instagram too. Oluwafunke. I'm here from TikTok because my question was not answered. Can I still file for AOS with no hassle, even after my I-94 expires as a K1 applicant? Did you get married? As long as you got married within the 90-day period, then that's yes, you can. As long as you got married within that 90-day period. If you did not get married within the 90-day period, meaning you got married after the 90-day, then your spouse has to file an I-130. As long as you got married within the 90-day period, then you don't need an I-130. You can file your adjustment of status application. Okay. I would like to ask if USCIS will issue a new prima facie determination when it's about to expire. Even if you, okay, that was the same person there. Okay. All right. Okay, people, I guess. CI, if you eventually find your work permit I-765 receipt notice, if it says C31 on it, then you're not going to get that. There's nothing to expedite on that because you don't get a C31 EAD until that case is approved. If it says category C9, then you can go ahead and send them a letter, especially because you're a nurse. That's essential worker. I've seen that a lot of my, if not all, that are nurses or in healthcare field. If you make an expedited request, they're granting that. So you may want to look into that. All right, people. You know what? One thing I wanted to do: can I file fiance visa for my ex-wife? Legally, can your ex-wife become a fiance? Legally, yeah, because legally they're not your wife anymore. So that will be a fiance. Yeah, actually. I actually have a lady who just came in 2 weeks ago from the DR. She and the K1 visa petitioner, they have 3 kids together, and they were married for 5 years, and then got divorced. And she went back to the DR, but then they had they rekindled their relationship. They had yet another baby, and without a K1. And it was just funny because that was the very first time I was actually representing people who had been married to each other. And so, including divorce decree that had both their names. Was kind of, but anyway, she's here now. So yes, generally you can. Okay. All right. So it's almost an hour. It's already over now. Let's do this. We already know by now a lot of, counterparts on here. I want everyone, each of us, to go and look at anyone's username and decide on one username at the very least for you to pray for. Just look at a username, or if it's a full name, just say it. Or if you want to let them know, tag them and say, "Hey, I'm choosing you to pray for." Where 2 or 3 are gathered in agreement or in him is there in the midst. Where 2 or 3 are gathered, there in the midst God is. Whenever we come together and agree together in faith and pray for one another, encourage one another, I truly believe that we make movements, we take strides, and we set God in action. And so there's so many of us just still waiting, and some people are dealing with denial, starting again. Denial is never easy. See, do I get denied cases? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not a lawyer who takes safe cases. I don't. I'll get bored. But because I take challenges and risk also means that there will be cases that will be denied. That's just what it is. But the prayer is, even whatever a case seems impossible, as long as you lay before the altar of grace, there's nothing God cannot turn around. So choose whoever it is if you want them to know. And I can tell it, Miriam, that's the person I'm choosing. So that's you praying specifically. I always put everyone in prayer, but specifically look at the list and just choose somebody and decide to pray for them. And let's agree in faith that we are going to all encourage one another. This is our year of overflowing grace, favor, mercy, and abundance. And so when we gather together and agree in faith, Ms. Pam can tell you, I remember when we prayed together and said, we are going to agree that God has gone before you. And Melanie Mufero, seeing God in action. Let us, take it one step at a time. Cases that may have been denied before, it doesn't mean it's going to be denied again, because God can turn things around. The heart of the king is in his hands. He created every human being. We have his breath in us. So if he says, so shall it be. Choose one person and decide that that's the person you're putting before the altar of grace, and agreeing in faith on their behalf, and vice versa. So Mayor McKinley, that you are mine tonight. Well, you know what I mean. And let's just keep encouraging one another fully. Yes, Miss Pam is right. Hello, Miss Pam. 𝒊𝒎💏💈 a lot like 𝐸𝐥𝐸𝐿 living testimony, because they're obviously client confidentiality, but she knows what we're talking about. But agreed in faith, there is nothing stronger than the power of prayer. It doesn't mean everything is going to go as planned, but there's nothing like the power of prayer. I mean, I've seen God at work. One of my I should say my car tag on my car it says 𝐸𝐽𝐻. If I had, they just limit us to number of characters. I really wanted to say 𝐸𝐽𝐻, but it's 𝐸𝐽𝐻 because I've seen God's wonders. I've seen God's wonders. I have seen God's wonders for me to ever stop trusting and believing in God. So whoever it is you have chosen, when I look at the card, I shed tears. I can imagine when you actually hold it in your hands. It's been quite a journey, and I rejoice with you. And I think we can go that route I texted you about that. I think that would be perfect to do that. Just to know that someone is having you in their prayer and believing in faith and agreeing in faith that all things will work together for our good. God hasn't brought us this far to leave us alone. It doesn't matter how many times your case has been denied. As long as you don't accept defeat, there's nothing God cannot turn around. Thanks for joining everyone. I'll see you guys next week. Have a good weekend.